I'm here.
Testimonial. Man, I got a new phone, S20, man. You see this thing?
No, is that 4 lenses on the back?
For
Four.
$1,300.
Are you serious? Oh my goodness.
Anyway,
Wow, dude, we got questions coming in already.
there we do. Roundup greetings, y'all. Come on in. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody.
That's
You like this better, Mike, or which one you feel sexier? Which one you like better?
yeah, I
Boom.
like that's good. No, yeah, back us. Yeah, there you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
me too. I don't like it
Back
about.
us up with that. I ain't that good looking to be all close up like that.
Me neither, brother.
You got more of that GQ model in you than I do, my friend.
Thank you. Hey guys, greetings, class. Come on in. Greetings. Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the Roundup Network, the round table, if you will. We are going to be hanging out with my boy one more time, Mike Fritz. Happy New Year, my friend.
Hey, man, New Year is right there. 2020's just calming down, and it's about ready to be 2021, man. We can't be complaining about 2020 anymore. It's going to be a whole new year.
We made it.
We made it. Everybody we made it. It was, some people experienced some strong, hard years. Other people had the best year of their life.
That's right.
And it's a crazy year, man.
There's something in there, bro. I'm glad I'm here, man. I tell you, the more I get older, I'm just thankful for the little things, Mike.
Oh, so true, especially with your family, man, safety and health. And not only that, but I mean, I started to love just a Friday night home with my wife. Those things start to mean the world, right?
It's something, isn't it?
It's true.
A roundup. Thanks for joining us today. We got 30 people here already. Mike, you are the multifamily expert. I'm always honored to be able to hang out with you. I asked you to come back because I got a million emails. You came on a week ago and you offered us just a killer deal. And a lot of my rounduppies missed it. And some people might be joining us tonight for the first time. So, Mike, I really honestly just wanted you to kind of, if you don't mind, share with me this multifamily investing world. Tell us a little bit about you, and let's just get cranking, bro.
Yeah, man. So I'm thanks again, Chris. I mean, you and I have been able to do some training this year together, and I feel like you and I've known each other for years. And man, we only met a few short months ago, and it's just kindred spirits. Love helping people and investing in real estate, and so multifamily is kind of one of those things that people see it a lot of times as the upper echelon of real estate. Oh, you go through saying multifamily is kind of the tip of the iceberg, and it isn't that way. It's a lot more accessible than people think it is. Multifamily is more of a mindset than it is even a real estate move. We got to have our mindset expand to be able to take down some of those bigger properties. And that's what I had to really learn. And some of the people even here, some people have invested in the training and are saying, they're enjoying some of the training right now. And it's because really it's accessible to anybody that's willing to do the steps. The steps to get a multifamily is the same steps to get a single family. You got to find a property, you got to find the capital, you got to secure it, and then you have to operate in a way that makes money. I mean, it's really a simple process, but navigating it is where people get in the weeds. Like, what do I do with this? What do I do with this? How do I raise money? And I want to boil it down to simply two things. We need to find deals and we need to find money. That's really what we need to be focusing on. So multifamily, that's really the crux. How I got into multifamily was when I was 19. My wife and I got married when I was 20, really young. And I started a construction business, and I built a duplex. I asked my dad to help me get the loan. I didn't have any money. I was broke, no money. That first singles apartment we had, where you got the TV sitting on a cardboard box because that's what you can afford. You know what I mean? And so we were just slugging it out. But my mom and dad helped me get a loan, and I built a duplex. We lived in half, rented the other half out. That's called house hacking, if you've never heard that term. Yep. And I started to fall in love with real estate. I started to fall in love with the power of being able to leverage units to pay my mortgage and pay my car payments and pay my food bills. And I started loving that. I'm like, man, this is really cool. Imagine if I owned 5 units or 7 units or 10 units. What would my life look like then? And then into the hundreds now. But the point is what is that? Your life just changes. And so I began to fall in love with this thing called real estate and multifamily real estate. And I love multifamily real estate for a couple of reasons. One is I like when one tenant moves out, I still have somebody else there paying those bills, right? I still have, when I own some single family homes as well, but when that tenant moves out, But
You're done.
I'm paying those bills, right?
Yep.
Until I get somebody else in there.
Yep.
And so I like multifamily for that reason. And one of the other reasons is when 5 units and above is considered commercial. And when you're at 5 units and above, the bank starts to see it as a business, meaning when a bank looks at a business, it determines its value based on its income. That means on a multifamily, it will base its value on your building determining on the income. And so that means if you buy it and you have 5 units and they're renting out at $500, it's $2,500. If you raise it to $600 and increase it by $500 a month across the thing, across all the units, the bank will increase the value of that building. So it's called forced appreciation. You get to dictate if the value goes up. And so that's the power of multifamily, man. I love multifamily real estate. Some of you that are tuning in for the first time, and maybe you've never even thought you could do multifamily. That's time to leave that thought in 2020. And let's enter 2021 without that thought. Let's leave that alone. It ain't your thought. It's something that's been fed to you by whatever, some guru on YouTube that said, go big or go home, and you believed him. So leave that thought. There's a lot of thoughts we need to leave in 2020. Let's leave that thought in 2020. Let's enter the new year fresh. Say, you know what? I can take down any building I want to. I just need to find a way to find the deal and find the money. That's what I got to do. Nice. And so I learned, real estate, anything's about focus. Gary Ryan Blair is a success coach, and he said one time, focus really stands for follow one course until successful. It's a really good acronym to think about focus. And I thought about that with real estate. If I just focus my time on finding deals and finding money, where would I be in a year or 2 years or 3 years or 5 years? I'm like, wow, that would change everything if I just focused there. So that's what I started to do. I started to really focus on finding deals and finding money. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. It's ironic you mentioned that because a lot of us are all over the place just trying to figure out, do this, do that, do that. That laser focus is what helped me too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am in no way, shape, or form saying that that's always been me. I have that entrepreneurial spirit. We call it shiny object syndrome, where we're like, let's do this, and I can do this. And then all of a sudden you dilute yourself. If you can hone in this year and you say in the next 90 days, I want to acquire a piece of multifamily. And every day you wake up thinking, who in the world has the multifamily that's going to be mine? Where's it at? I'm going to call real estate agents. I'm going to start connecting with people, and I'm going to find that if you focus there, watch it happen. We just got to focus on the right thing. And my mission is to help 10,000 people create financial freedom through multifamily real estate, because I believe it's one of the best cash producing assets to own that can pay you month after month after month, which that's what creates your freedom. I love fixing and flipping houses. It's just always great to see those big surges of cash, but you want to hold on to some of those properties so they're paying you month after month. As you know, Chris, you've done it. You've done all kinds of real estate, and those month after month real estate pays. That cash flow and that consistent income is where really the freedom is built, right?
Yep. Ronald Grant told me, Chris, the longer you hold on to the property, the more money you'll make.
Period. You know what's so funny about that? Isn't that like how basic of a statement is this?
Is that true? I don't know. I mean, yeah, dude, because you make 40,000 do a flip. You're like, man, I'm going to the bank. Yeah. Now I look back, I'm like, we made $15,000 a year and I did nothing, so.
Yeah. No, and that's what I think. And Ron has been at this for decades, training people how to buy real estate. I mean, he is a beast training people to do real estate, and he's a smart marketer too, and he's a brilliant marketer. But I say all that to say that multifamily is beautiful because you buy it, you can hold it for a significant amount of time, and it can pay you month after month after month. I have some properties I've owned for a decade that are still paying me month month after month. And now that the interest rates are really low, I can refinance those and go buy more properties, right? Because they've obviously increased in value. And then I can buy more multifamily. And all of a sudden, 4, 5, 6 years, I actually bought enough real estate to retire. Like that actually can happen. And I want to tell you, for every single one of you, I don't care your upbringing, I don't care what you were told as a kid, I don't care. All of that stuff is just what's in here. We just need to rearrange that furniture so it tells us the story that it needs to tell us. And whatever is holding you back, thinking you can't, we got to destroy that because you can't. And so Chris and I were talking. He said a lot of people. We came on a couple weeks ago, gave a Christmas special, and I walked through a deal. And what I want to do is I want to walk through that deal, but I'm going to draw a couple things out. I want to draw a couple things out of that deal that I didn't mention last time.
Yeah.
We just didn't have enough time, and I want to talk through that deal because the reason I want to bring this deal back on, I just closed today on this property.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's closing day, man. It's closing
But
day.
you made money though. I want you. Are you going to cover that?
Oh
Because
yeah,
that's
yeah.
amazing how
I'm
you
gonna
do
talk
that.
about that. Yeah. So a lot of people, think real estate costs you money. If you do it the way I'm going to teach you, you can actually make money by buying the real estate. And let me go ahead and pull that. I'll pull that up real quick, and I'll show you how I did that. Let me share the
Let me reintroduce you
screen
for
real
the
quick.
rounduppers. For the rounduppers that are just joining us, Happy New Year to you. Welcome to the Roundup Roundtable New Year special edition. We got Mike Fritz on here going over his multifamily training, and he is going to give us some goodies. So make sure you stay on to get those codes. Mike, thank you for blessing my people. Once again, good hanging out with you, brother.
Oh, it's always good to be with you, Chris. I love your mission. I love the amount of content, just the sheer volume of content and value you put out is not only refreshing, but it blows my mind. You find time to do it all, my friend. But
Yep.
I really appreciate the content you put out because
Sure.
really it is an information issue, right? It's not it doesn't matter what side of the tracks you think you were born on. We just need to get that information that can take us there, right?
That's right.
So yeah, let me tell you a little bit about this deal I just locked in. I just closed on this today, and this is it's an 8-unit building.
What is that blue, Mike? Is that siding, Dutch, some type of Dutch slab?
No, so that's brick, real brick on the bottom. The top half, the blue part is stucco that's painted.
Stucco, gotcha.
Yeah, it's a stucco finish, and that's a brand new roof on top. All the units inside, 100% finished and furnished, because this is actually a student housing project right by Notre Dame. It's high-end student housing. So get this, some of these units are renting out for $1,200 a month because they have what they call legacy tenants, and that's somebody that was there when they bought the property. They're getting ready to move out. We're going to rent those out for $800 a bedroom. That means that'll go to $900 a bedroom. That'll go to $1,800 from $1,200. That's a $600 a month increase.
Wow.
Which is why we bought this building. And so this is a really, really powerful. So this is actually kind of a 16 unit because we rent it out by the bedroom, but it's there's 8 apartments inside this building. And I'm just going to talk about how I found it, funded it, operated it.
Yeah, let's do it.
And so
you closed on it. You didn't go there, no doubt. I mean, you're
no. It was a remote closing. They just they emailed me the documents. I went to a notary, had them all signed, forwarded them back, overnighted them, and we're good to go.
Y'all hear that, right? He's in, where you at? New Mexico?
Phoenix, man, I'm having to suffer through 70-degree temperature every day and here in Phoenix.
Oh, Arizona. Okay.
It's so beautiful. My buddy came down today. We went out and hung out, and it's just so beautiful here. But that's the beautiful thing. I'm buying real estate. This is in South Bend, Indiana. I'm buying real estate in a place I don't even live. And so because of the power of a team. But you ask how I found it, I'm going to quickly say, I talk about a property profile. A property profile is something when you tell a real estate agent, or what we call a bird dog, somebody who's looking for properties for you, exactly what kind of property you're looking for. For example, you might tell a real estate agent, I'm looking for 6 to 8 unit building in the 500,000 range, depending on where you live. Depending on where you live, you might find them for less, or you might find them for 3 times that, right? But say, I'm looking for this kind of property in this area. The reason I say build a property profile is because I was sitting at my desk one day, got an email, and the subject line said, this property has your name on it. I opened it up. It was this one, and we ended up just closing on this today. Now, how did she know that property had my name on it? Because I had given her a property profile, and she knew exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for anywhere from 8 to 12 units. So it'd be anywhere from 16 to 24 beds of student housing really close to the Notre Dame campus. And this is literally a stone's throw from the Notre Dame campus. And so she found this, and that's how I found it. So one of the powerful things is you can talk to many real estate agents, tell them exactly what you're looking for. And then when a real estate deal crosses their desk, they might be like, oh, you know what? I just talked to Sarah. She wants that. This is the kind of deal she's looking for. Or I just talked to John. He's looking for this exact deal. Right. And so that's how one of the ways you can find deals. And this is just creatively because it's a networking game, right? And so you can connect with these agents, let them know what you're looking for. And then how I funded it. So I did I did two things. I raised private money for the down payment and the fees, meaning closing cost, appraisal, inspection, and that such. And I'll talk about something else here in a minute called an acquisition fee. And then I got bank money for the rest. So this specific building was 1.2 million. So, but what I want you to see though is I use zero of my money, $0. Zero. So when people say you need a lot of capital, no, I use $0 of my money. I raised private money. I found an investor to invest in it, and I used bank money. I went and got a loan for the rest. So you don't have to use your capital. You don't have to. So here was the purchase price. Here's how the numbers worked out. Purchase
Mike,
price
I
1.2.
gotta step in. Can I just ask you?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
bring
let
it.
you go. Private money, though, just give us a 40,000-foot view of just kind of open people's minds up to what is that and what does this private person look like?
Oh, so good. So good. Okay. So private money, it's not a bank. These are individual people. Could be your uncle, could be a friend, could be Chris or I.
Yep.
It's people that want to invest in real estate, but do none of the work. So essentially they give you the money, you invested in real estate. And essentially there's two different kinds of private money, private lenders and private equity partners, and sometimes a hybrid of both. A private lender is just like a bank. They might loan you, since like you see on the screen here, I needed $350,000 cash to close. Meaning that's what I needed to get this property was 350 grand.
Mm-hmm.
So I could get a private lender to lend me 350,000, let's say at 6%, 7%, kind of a lot of times it's a higher interest rate than the bank. They can lend it to you at a higher percentage. Now on long-term projects like a multifamily that you're planning on holding long-term, private lenders aren't usually the way you go. We usually go with private equity partners, and a private equity partner is they invest the 350,000 or a portion of it, and they get a piece of the equity of the deal. Meaning they make a percentage. So this $350,000 cash to close, I found one investor that had that. They put that forward. They get a percentage of the property, and I get a percentage of the property. And every month we take that profit based on our percentage. That's how private money works. So when you ask, how do you find them? They are everywhere. There's so much money chasing deals right now. If you get out there and start talking to people that you're a real estate investor, you're investing in real estate, watch what starts to happen. Watch what starts to happen. And Chris and I have talked about this. And Chris, you can interject here with a few statements as well on how private money has just changed the game of real estate.
It's just everywhere. I mean, and I think a lot of us, including me, I was scared to ask. But when I started asking, it was just like so much of it showed up. I couldn't even deploy it all. So it's just the fact that I think we don't even want to ask. So
that's a great point, Chris. Not only the not asking part, but when we first start off, we have a lot of deals and no money. Eventually, that goes like this.
Yeah.
We have more money than we have deals.
Because it's more out there.
What's that?
It's more out there. It's more capital than it is properties to buy.
That's exactly why. And that's 100% right. So that's what a private money partner is. And you can find those. They can be family members. They can be friends. They can be your CPA might want to invest. You never know. The people that are in your network, start making a list of people in your network. But I needed 350,000 cash to close, and that would cover the down payment, the closing costs, the inspection, the appraisal, and an acquisition fee. Now, what in the world is an acquisition fee? This is how you get paid, my friends. Buckle up. So I'm going to come back to that in just a minute when I talk about how much I actually make on this deal. So then how I operate it, I have a property manager in that area that I've been talking to for months, preparing to take over this property. And I talk to her about once a month. She runs a really good company there. Talk to her about once a month to make sure everything's going smooth. And that's all I do. Maybe an hour a month. That's all I do. On a new property, I might spend a couple times the first week or two or three throughout the first month of ownership just to make sure the transition goes smooth. But that's all I do. This is why real estate really can be done from Aruba on the beach. And I'm serious about that. And so this is how much I make. So I charge a $30,000 acquisition fee. So $30,000 of that $350,000 goes to me personally. You're like, what does that mean? The investor is paying me to find the deal, to raise the money, to go get the loan, to deal with the lenders, to deal with the brokers, to find the manager, to put the team together. I charge a premium for that because you add value to the deal. The investor wouldn't have the deal if it wasn't for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people are like, well, yeah, but you own equity in the deal. Isn't that your payment? No, you get paid because you're an owner of the deal, because you own equity in it. And people say, yeah, but isn't that your payment for all your work? I spend about anywhere from 150 to 250 hours per property to get it acquired. If you think about that, and then I'm going to make, $1,000 a month, you know how long it's going to take me to actually recover that time? What that does is that means it will be really hard for you to go full-time real estate without some sort of fee in the multifamily world. But the good news is by charging one, you can do 2 of these a year and replace your income.
Nice.
Right? That's all you need. And I charge a $250 asset management fee, because let's say the manager needs to call somebody. Who they calling? Not the investor, they're calling you. So you can charge for that. And then I make about $1,000 a month for the equity I own in the property. So I'm going to make $1,250 a month plus my $30,000. Oh, and by the way, remember how much money I put into the deal? Zero. That's how much money I put into the deal. That's the power of multifamily. That's why I love it. Right?
I just imagine, Mike, you get to write off too, where you had nothing out of your pocket and you get to depreciate it. That's a beast.
Oh, and I get to depreciate.
We don't even get into that, I guess.
Oh man, and that's the huge thing. You get to write it off on your taxes every time I go there. My cell phone bills, so much of my stuff gets written off, and I get and I'm making money on all this stuff. It's the power of real estate. That's why Donald Trump says, no matter what you think about him as a president, that's why he says, or Warren Buffett, even better, in case you don't like Donald Trump, Warren Buffett says he pays less taxes than his assistant.
Wow.
Because his real estate is so powerful in the write-off game, it really protects you against paying a lot of taxes.
Yep. Such
a powerful game. One of our investors, after taking Mike's training, she secured an 8 unit that made her over $8,000 or $2,000 a month. Think about that. $24,000 a year. How many of those do you need to replace your income? Hello, retirement. Right? So Chris and I started talking. If you were here last week for our Christmas special, this is the special we put together. We revamped it a little bit. And I want to, just for those of you that maybe missed that, I want to bring this back and take it so that you can get 2021 off to a bang. We want to see 2021 be the greatest year ever. The 2020 has been an interesting year. We can all agree we did not expect this year. Some people you talk to had the greatest year of their life. Others had the worst year of their life. And a lot of people are somewhere in between. No matter what year you have, we have to take responsibility simply for our responses to the year, right? However, whatever happened, we have to respond correctly. And in 2021, it's going to be no different. It's going to throw you good things, and then it's going to throw you a few curveballs. Yeah. But why we wanted to put this together is to give you the information you need to hit the ball. I want to give you the information you need so you can make 2021 the best year of your life, if that's what you want to do. And so I put together one of the pillar trainings in multifamily in the industry, really teaching the A to Z, how to find properties, the mindset you need for multifamily, how to raise private money. I go through 5 or 6 videos just on how to raise money. All the things I put together to give investors, I put that whole thing together, how to operate the deals, how to find property managers, how to work with them, how to buy more properties after you get them, how to use the BRRRR method essentially in multifamily, the buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat, how to do that method in multifamily. There's a way to do that. And so I walked through that whole thing. And in 2021, you guys are actually going to get access. I'm reshooting the entire, for people that purchase this year, they're going to get even the updated 2.0 version that's coming soon, which is awesome. And so here's what's included in Multifamily CEO. I'm going to go through this pretty quick so you see what you get. Number one, you get foundations of the multifamily game. I call it the 0 to retirement plan. Let's say you own no real estate. I'm going to teach you how to get there, no matter where you're at, how to get to a retirement plan. Now, maybe you never retire. I'll never retire. Yeah, but I want the option to if I want to, right?
Never retire. But for what? Yeah. What am I doing?
Exactly. Whether you want to sit with your grandkids on the beach someday or whether you want to travel the world, I just want you to have that option. That's all, right? Find deals on your terms. For example, for my wife and I, it's really important for us to be active in our church. Well, this gives us freedom to be active in our church, and the ministries, they're important to us, right? So you can find deals on your terms, find money, and how to avoid overfunding. This is what Chris and I were talking about. How do you avoid having too much money and not enough property? How do you keep that funnel going so you never get caught in that game? And then how to operate like a pro. And one of the cool things Chris and I did is one of the bonuses you're going to get is you're going to get access to the Seller Financing Secrets course. And that's being shot live January 9th this year, 2021, January 9th in just a few weeks here. We're shooting that course live, and you're going to get lifetime access to how to start structuring seller financing deals. It's one of the most powerful things in the world to get seller financing deals where the seller is the bank and you don't have to go get a loan. And for the first 10 people, we're going to give a free ticket to that event. We gave 15 tickets away. Yep, Saturday, January 9th.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yep. So we gave 15 tickets away for Christmas. Those are gone. We're giving 10 away for the new year. The first 10 people are going to get a free ticket to Seller Financing Secrets. And you're going to literally get to hang out with me for an 8-hour event where I'm shooting this course live. You can ask some questions. You're going to see me talk about how to find events. I'm going to have a guest speaker talking about how to use social media to find events. And it's going to be a killer event. You're going to want to be there. And so we're going to give the first 10 that come in today for the new year. We're going to give you a free ticket to that event. And so a buddy of mine, I was actually just hanging out with him today, talked about, he's worked with so many consultants. Him and I started working together, and he closed on a 10 unit plus 3 lots to develop. Wow. Within just a few weeks. Because again, multifamily is not difficult. You just have to know how to navigate the game. And then this is the second bonus we throw in, because one of the things that I have hated, I bought a lot of courses over the years. Chris and I talk about this. Chris, how many courses you think you've bought over the years?
I wouldn't even begin to count, man. I got a whole shed full of stuff.
Me neither. You know? I mean, my shelves are full of books, but I bought so much online training over the years. And one of the things that I always hated was when I got into the training, but I'm like, yeah, but I wish I could just ask this one question. And a lot of times courses don't come with coaching. They're just online courses. They don't come with a phone call with the expert. Mm-hmm. But what I said was, what if they could just ask me some questions? So you're going to get the course in time. And that same January 9th, we're going to do a live coaching session with me. That's everybody who buys today. You can bring your hard questions. You can go through some of the content, and I'll be able to answer some of your questions live. You'll get access to me. You'll get your questions answered so you can get started the right way. And please, you cannot make the mistakes that I did. Oh my goodness, I've made mistakes that cost me thousands. I hired the wrong property manager one time, and she didn't even live in the state in which my properties lived. And
wow. Tell us about that, Mike. I'd like to hear a little bit more about that. Let me hear about that real quick.
So I Googled property managers it's a city, South Bend, Indiana. And so I Googled, and this lady came up. I got on the phone with her. Oh, she was a smooth talker, though. Oh, I've got this credentials.
They all are.
I do this. And I'm like, oh man, this is looking good. I went on her website. Website looked pretty good. I never thought to ask her, crazy me, do you live in the state in which my properties are?
Wow.
She didn't even live there, man. She didn't even live there. She had a team running it, and the team was awful. Cost me thousands of dollars. I mean, dude, oh my word. It increased the amount of money I had to put into that deal. If that's, I had to pay the stupid tax that day. Okay. But the reason I want this coaching here, and the reason that Chris and I talk about this, I want you to have access so you don't make those silly mistakes like I did. Whoops. And because let me tell you, you make those mistakes and they're painful. Yeah, history will repeat itself without information and implementation, right? And so I don't want you to do that. And so we threw in a coaching session. And so this the New Year package, we're going to give you the online training, Multifamily CEO. By the way, the reason it's called Multifamily CEO is because we want you to be in control of your life. And I believe multifamily can get you there. CEO is in control, makes the shots. A lot of people live their life based on what they think they can. You know, they're at a job they don't like. They're driving a car they don't like. And all of the things are just settling. But I think you can invest in real estate to put you back in the decision seat. You can decide your life. And that's what this course does. That's why it's called that. Lifetime access to SFS, which is Seller Financing Secrets. You're going to get, after that's all recorded live and edited and put in the portal, you're going to get lifetime access to that. You get also lifetime access to Multifamily CEO, access to the private Facebook group where I post deals. People that are in there can tell you I post deals almost weekly, a deal that's kicking around and a multifamily deal for you to connect with the agent if it's something you're interested in. and you get this free group coaching call. And I'm going to throw in, and remember, the first 10 are going to get tickets to the live event, Seller Financing Secrets Live. Here's probably one of my favorite things I'm going to throw in. I'm going to give you my multifamily deal analyzer. This is maybe one of the things I'm most proud of. This is just, it's a software I've created where you can put the numbers of a deal in, and it will tell you your return on investment. So you can just go in, you can look at down the left, you can get the down payment, the appraisal, the inspection. It'll put all that in, and then it'll tell you your return on investment. So you don't have to figure all that out, and you know if it's a good deal or not. It does it for you. And so there's literally a philosophy to this analyzer. Not only are you going to get it, but I'll walk you through. There's a video where I explain it in this Multifamily CEO product. And so you'll get that as well. So again, you get the Multifamily CEO training, lifetime access to SFS, access to the private Facebook group, free group coaching call. I'm going to give you the deal analyzer, and that says 15. All right, I'll tell you what, because I forgot to change the slide. I really forgot to change that slide. If the first 15, I'll honor that because I threw it in there. I was going to put 10, but sorry about that. But first 15, you get 3 tickets. I want you to be at the event. There's a power in the room. There's going to be anywhere from 30 to 80 people at that event, and you're going to be able to bounce in the chat and ask questions and feed off other students. It's going to be an amazing day, and I'd love to have you there live. Were you saying something, Chris?
No, networking in the room. That's for me.
Mm-hmm. Dan Kennedy used to say, one of Chris and I's favorite people, Dan Kennedy used to say, there's nothing like the 4 walls. And what he meant by that is being at an event with people. And I understand this is the closest we can get right now, right? So we want you to be connected as much as possible. And so the value of this whole thing, I've sold these separately, is $78.80. Well, of course, being New Year, we're not going to charge you that. One investment in $997. Chris said, he posted today, let's do 50% off. So you're going to get all of this today, one investment of $497, and the first 15, because I forgot to change that, the first 15 are going to get a free ticket to Seller Financing Secrets. So what happens is when you make the investment in yourself, because it's a mindset shift. This isn't a cost. This is an investment into your future, right? I mean, that's one of the things I had to shift in my mindset. I always used to think, it costs so much. No, it's an investment into my future, because I learned this and I make one deal. Let me tell you, $497 ain't going to seem like anything. Oh, yeah. And so it's a few meals out, and you get to really start diving into multifamily this year. So the way to start the new year right, if we want 2020 to be a year like we've never had, we need to do things we've never done, right? And so this is the time to dive in and really, really connect. And I have that link there, Chris. It's also in the description, correct?
Yep. I'll round up if y'all want to. I got some questions I wanted to ask Mike too, and some million questions here. If you want to get rocking and rolling with Mike, well, I mean, if all you got was the deal analyzer and the one day with Mike, it would be worth a few nights out at dinner. But the link in the video description, Roundup, Invest in Yourself, New Year's 2021, get rocking and rolling. I don't care if it's with Mike or not, but at least make a decision to do something. Absolutely. All I can do is present it to you.
Absolutely. I can tell you, if you want to earn more, you have to learn more. That's just right, the truth of the history of you.
But constantly, though, you know.
What's that?
Constantly.
You got to be on that cutting edge of learning. You know, I can tell you, I heard Ed Mylett. I was listening to a conversation with Ed Mylett and Damon John. Damon John's one of the sharks on Shark Tank. Ed Mylett's an influencer, has a great podcast. I was listening to the interview today, and Ed talks about selling courses. He says, you know, like teaching this content, we make way less than we do in business. Mm-hmm. I talk about this with some of my multifamily guys all the time. If I was just out doing deals every single day,
oh my Lord,
I'd make way more money. But the reason is I really want, again, my mission, 10,000 people, financial freedom through multifamily real estate. And I really want to help people next year. At this time next year, I want to see you have a couple properties under your belt, making you $1,000, $2,000 a month, and being like, man, this is a whole different ballgame. I got a third income, and give me 2-3 more years, it's going to be my primary income. And I'm going to say bye-bye to my job and start living life on my terms. That's why this exists. And that's why I want to get this in your hands.
Mike, what about the people out there that I know they're worried about not investing in their backyard? I mean, They might. I know for me, where we're at, multifamily is real low. What about
Yeah.
the people out there that are concerned about that?
Yeah. So one of the things I talk about in the course is how to manage properties long distance. For example, I don't own any properties in Phoenix, Arizona, which is where I live, except my primary residence.
Hmm.
I
Wow.
don't own any.
Wow.
Once you learn to build that team, you all of a sudden it doesn't matter where you buy. So let me tell you, if you limit the where you buy properties to where you live, I want you to think about it like this: if you limit where you buy properties to where you live, you shut off most of the planet's opportunity. And so
Right.
what we want to do, once you learn to buy properties anywhere in the country, the world, then nothing limits you, right? You just buy where the good markets are. You go to where the markets are doing well and you invest there. And so that's the power of learning to buy properties where you don't live. And I know for some of us, you're like, yeah, but how would I ever know if the properties were okay or if somebody burned it down? That's why a good property manager, I'm telling you, my property managers know more about my properties than I do, way more.
Hmm.
And I'm okay with that because that's why I pay them. They do their job and I get paid every month. And that's the power of learning how to do that. And that is a mindset thing. But once you get over that barrier, the whole world opens up. You know what I mean?
One second. What's up, buddy?
You are doing a video?
I'm live right now. We got 60 people on.
I just asked you. You said no.
Man,
Hey, part of life.
Chris is always adding value.
Part of life, right? So,
right.
Okay. Round up. That was crazy. My God, my little one's in there going bananas right now. Mike, yeah, thanks for answering that because a lot of people think that they need to be buying houses right where they are. But I'm what you're teaching is a skill. I've heard dozens of nightmare stories of hiring, just like you said, hiring the right property manager, and you're going to show them how to. There's got to be some steps to do that.
Oh, absolutely. There's a couple of questions
Google,
you can ask. Yep, you're 100% right, Chris. There's some questions you can ask to make sure you don't fall into that trap. And I go over hiring a property manager in this the multifamily CEO course.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
A roundup. Listen, we're gonna get some Q&A.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, Mike's multifamily deal is on right now. Let me move this around here. Half off. You're gonna get the multifamily CEO. Oh, do I have it up there? Sorry about that. Let me bring it up.
We're also going to run this deal through Sunday. Now, the first 15, again, I was planning on only letting 10 more in, but 15 will get a free ticket to Seller Financing Secrets Live. But this deal will go through Sunday. And then the multifamily CEO course is $997 on its own. And seller financing will go for $997 as well. And so those will go $1,000 each. And so this literally is more like 75% off from that perspective.
Thanks, Mike. Chris Walters. Hey, Chris, how did you locate value add opportunities? Purchase my course. Was hoping to see how does an investor deal look like? Why and what should I offer to the investor? I think he's talking about
private. Raising money.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. So that's a good question. So I let the deal dictate that. Every deal is a little bit different. If I find a deal where the return on investment's a little low, but those value adds are really high, meaning we're going to get a lot of appreciation, I'll give the investor more equity to start. So here's how I do my deals. I give them 70%, I keep 30%. And let's remember we invested $350 into this deal. I wait till I force appreciate the building, $350,000. Then I refinance out that $350,000. I give them back their $350,000. We go to 50-50 partners. Now they're making money every month on a deal. They have no money invested. That's power. That's a power tip right there. That's more than a power tip. That's my entire investment philosophy in a couple sentences that's taken me years to think through and learn.
Sweet.
And so, but that's what I do is 70-30. And then when I refi their money out, we go to 50-50.
Nice. That's sharp, Mike. Rose, what contract does she use for free and clear seller financing deals when she's the buyer?
If she's the buyer, free and clear seller financing deals.
Yep.
So I have a real estate attorney. It's different in every state. So I have a real estate attorney just draw the contract up. I don't have a set contract because sometimes the seller has a little bit different quirks, or they want this, or they want this. And so I just have my real estate attorney. It usually costs me anywhere from about $700 to have a contract drawn up, and I'll have a contract drawn up by my real estate attorney. I don't really have a template.
Gotcha.
Because everyone's just a little different. I want to make sure. And sometimes the seller wants their attorney to draw it up. And so they bring it to me as the buyer. Right. And so then I look at it, and then I might add a few layers, protects me kind of in the middle, and then we sign it.
Yep. Round up, head on down to the video description. Get Mike's training, Multifamily CEO, guys, half off for the New Year special. Thank you, Mike. The seller financing secrets, January 9th. You're going to send them an email for the times for that, Mike?
Yeah. So that's what I was going to say. Anybody that invests, you'll get what I call a concierge email, and it will explain everything. It'll give you your Zoom link for the event. It will give you your link to the Facebook group. I'll have the multifamily deal analyzer attached in the email. It'll be a description of everything you need to know will be in that email. So be on the lookout when you invest. If you invest this evening, you might get the email in the morning. But be on the lookout for that concierge emails to make sure, and it will come through, and you'll get all of your details for the entire product will be in that email.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely.
Chris Walters wants to know, what do we offer private lenders, Mike?
Do we offer? Okay, so that's a great question. I don't offer them anything. I ask them what they want.
Good point. Stay there for a minute, Mike.
So private lenders, if I'm doing not equity partners, they're lending me money, I want to ask them, because I'm like, maybe they're used to having their money. They just suck some equity out of their home at 2%, and lending it out at 6% is 2/3 increase. So they're like, I'll lend it out at 6% when the big deal, I could pay them 7%. But by asking them, I want them to speak first. So I ask a private lender, and if they do this like a lot, they're going to be savvy and know what they could probably get.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to know. So I always ask them.
If they don't do it a lot, they can tell you what the hell they want. I mean, it's not like, they'll be like, shit, I'll take 6, I'll take X, or I'll take Y. Go ahead, Mike.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's exactly right. That's what I was going to say. So you ask them, and they might say, well, I really need 7%. And then I'm like, oh man, to make this deal work, I really need it down around 6. Can you do that? And then it's a negotiation.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And Chris, don't feel bad if you are asking these people what they want. At the end of the day, when you give somebody what they want, even if it's way below what you think is crazy and it's not even on your planet.
Exactly.
These people, I promise you, if we got capital sitting around 6, 7, 8%, they're not getting anywhere close to what you're going to give them, my friend.
No. And a good thing, you can actually, that hybrid model, you can give them some lending. So you know what? Once you I'll give you, 6% straight cash, or maybe you loan out at a little better deal at 4%, and I give you 20% of the upside.
Piece of the deal, yeah.
Yeah, or you get a little bit of equity in the deal. And so they can win on both sides. And so that's a way for you to pay a little less in payment and them to make a little more in the return.
That's savvy right there. That's like a hybrid. I've never done one of those, but
yeah. And so that's that way, and it might cost you a little more to do that, but you know what? What if you got into the private lending game, and you said, you know what, I'll pay you 6%. And I'll give you some of the upside. You're like, Mike, I'm going to make less money. Yeah, but you'll get a deal done. And then you can take that deal and you can tell your next private lender, hey, I just done a deal. And now you're starting to build a track record. So for your first deal or two, you might have to be a little gracious and give more money away in order to get that deal done so that you can start to build your track record. Then all of a sudden, and you're going to open the floodgates.
Yeah, I did. I gave away massive amount of, my God.
I was giving away 50% equity for people to give me money when I started, sometimes more.
Mm-hmm.
And oh man, absolutely.
It's worth it though. I mean, at the beginning, my thing is, listen, if you make if more people you make rich, you become rich. The more people,
true
by default.
Oh, that's so true, man. I mean, you think about what Zig Ziglar's famous quote: "You can get anything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want."
Yeah.
You keep doing that, you are not going to have a problem finding money.
Mm-mm. Happy New Year, Candace. Same to you. Happy New Year. What's not?
Absolutely.
Oh, my brother. Hey, my brother. How you doing? Candace, where do you find information on the market What data
Okay,
are
so
you reading? Go ahead.
good question. Good question. So the market, I look at two things. You look at job growth and you look at landlord friendly states and population growth as well. So job growth, population growth, and landlord friendly states. And I'll just spout out some markets. If you might be in a good market, like, Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky. I'm looking at buying in Lexington right now. Lexington's a good market. Tennessee's a good market. Texas, Alabama, Georgia, the Carolinas, Tennessee. I think I said Tennessee is good multifamily markets. But the Midwest is popping right now. There's a lot of great markets. You want to stay away from New York, Illinois, California, New Mexico. Those are really tough states to win in on from a landlord perspective. Because again, if a tenant can stay in there for a year, like right now in New York City, they can stay in there for almost 2 years without paying rent, and you can't do anything. That's just not right. It's just not right.
Wow. Candace, good question. Mike, she had another question. Can you share how you owned a property and you were able to live there for only $100?
Yeah. So when I first built that property, when I was 19 years old, I asked my mom and dad to help me get the loan. Of course, Leanne and I, my wife together, help us get the loan. I built a duplex on night and weekends. Again, I was a builder by trade when I first started off. So I'd go to work in the day. I was building houses and I owned a construction business. Came home at night, went building again. I worked nights and weekends building that duplex. And it took me about 8 or 9 months. I built it. I got it built. I moved in, brand new duplex. I built it, I think, total for $129,000. It was in the Midwest, and I lived in half. The payment was $729, and I rented the other side out for $750 with taxes, insurance. I think it ended up being about like $900. So I think it was $150 or $141 a month. I think was my total thing to live in that duplex. I rented one side out, lived in half, and rented for about $150 a month in a brand new place, by the way. Brand new place. It was awesome. And that's a great way to get started in multifamily. And I understand if a lot of you have kids or families, you might not be able to do that. But man, if you're single and young, please take it from me. Do that. You don't have to build it. You can buy it and do the same thing.
At least consider it. If you don't do it, just consider it. I was the same way. I'm like, I did 3 or 4 of them. I'm like, I should have done 10 I should have just, because it's so true. You're just coming home.
Exactly, man. So true.
Good point. Looking back, why, Chris? I want to. But Chris Walters, I invest $50,000. What do I get monthly? After 5 years, what do I get? I don't understand that one. Mike, you want to tackle that one? I don't know.
So read that out loud for me, man.
I invest $50,000. What do I get monthly? And after 5 years, what do I get? I don't know if he's talking. Go ahead.
So it depends. That there's so many things in that statement that it depends on. First of all, if you invested $50,000 into what kind of deal? I'm not saying multifamily, but like how expensive is it? Yeah. Are there 5 other investors in that deal, or are you the only investor?
Yeah.
And in 5 years, have they refinanced it? Is it the same? Have you raised the rents a bunch? So there's so many factors in that to know how much you get. Did you sell it at year 3 and you took all that appreciation? So there's so many factors to know. I have a $50,000 investor right now that will probably make over 2-3 years. They'll probably end up making probably 4 years in the 26% range. They'll make some good money. But that being said, it's because of how we're structuring the deal. So, but on that 50,000, they'll make that. So it all depends on the deal.
Yeah. Every deal.
Very deal dependent.
Every deal is different, Chris.
Yep.
There is no, God, how many times when I was starting out, I was looking for this box or this rules and regulations to say with private lenders. And I'm like, dude, the sky is the limit, brother.
It's so true. And that's one of the things that I've learned over time. The more creative I get with how I structure deals, the more deals I can get done. When you only know that one way of just, I go to the bank, I get the money. I mean, it limits you to the number of deals you can do. I mean, and you that do wholesaling understand how crazy sometimes wholesaling, people will just give you their house sometimes subject to, like, it gets crazy in some of the experiences you have, right, Chris? And some of the things you run into, you're like, man, I never would have dreamed this, right?
It's crazy, yeah. Especially even with private money. I mean, we set up no payment loans. You can have
Yep.
loans quarterly, biannually, once a year. I mean, we have it to where we don't even make a payment till we liquidate the asset. So it's just so many different things.
Yeah, that's great. That's a phenomenal way to do it too. Absolutely. Great
Man,
question.
questions, so many. Jamar, hey Jamar, nice picture, nice tie too, brother. I've got an opportunity to purchase 2 duplexes on the same lot. Good for you.
That's
Having
awesome.
trouble with the financing. How can I get this property financed? The lenders
So
just
yeah,
dividing them.
yeah, great question. So when you say 2 duplexes on the same lot, so a lot of lenders will lend on them as a package, and they'll just buy them as one loan on 2 properties. They can do that. And so that's probably how I would do. Now, depending on the cost and how much money you need to get into the deal, it would all depend on that. Like if you if it, let's say they're 200,000 a piece, if it's 400 grand, say okay, I need about 150,000 maybe to close. $150,000 to close. I can go raise that money and then I can get the bank for the rest. And let's say I can't get a loan, Mike. I can raise the money, but I can't get a loan. Then bring in another partner who has loan cred that can get the loan with you and just give them a piece of the equity to do that, right? That's what I mean by creativity. There's always a way to get it done.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna suggest or recommend everybody take on a partner, but for me, I don't mind partners. I have
Mm-hmm.
no problem as long as they're bringing something to the table that I can't do, and they're bringing value. Less for me to do. So I know a
Bingo.
lot of wholesalers and even investors are like, only ships that sink are partnerships. So
Yeah.
I don't believe that, but I'll let Mike give us his take on that.
I will tell you that strategic, key underline strategic partnerships
Yeah.
have changed my life.
Oh man.
They've made me hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Mhm.
Strategic key partnerships.
Yep.
Number one, an investor is a partnership. And so when you just have to reframe, I don't let that junk get in my head. One of my best friends is my partner on a piece of real estate, because we have it outlined and we know what's happening and we're good. And so I don't believe first of all, that's a negative belief. You find the right partner, I think it can happen. Anytime people say that, I'm like, every Super Bowl team that has ever won a Super Bowl was in a partnership with a quarterback is in a partnership with his lineman to protect him. So all
Mhm.
partnerships don't sink. You just have to get in the right one.
That's right. I'm telling you,
You know?
man.
Yeah.
Let's see. What contract? Rose. What contract do I use for free? Oh, we did that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Round up, head on over to the video is in the link is in the video description or in the comments below for you to invest in Mike's multifamily training if that's something you see the value in for your 2021. Karen, do sellers have the right to look at your finances during subject to deals? I don't know if that was on there. Do you even cover that one, Mike? Are you doing that?
Well, because this is more multifamily, although we've done subject to, I mean, they could certainly ask for it. I mean, if you're doing a deal and you're making payments on seller financing, they might ask for your credit score.
They
I
might.
never have had that happen. But
Me
I'm saying,
neither.
I mean, it could happen. I mean, I'm not saying that they might ask if you're making those payments, what's your credit score, and can I see some financials? Or they might ask that. Again, I've never had that happen, but I'm sure it could.
Yeah, I never had it
Maybe, I
happen
mean,
either.
Chris, have you had that happen?
No, but I promise you I'm ready though. If any, I mean, I even like look. If you need to see anything on from me, boom, here it is. It's almost
Yeah,
like walking out of Walmart. I'm showing them the receipt. I love it. I'm showing it every time I do that. They don't want. It's crazy. When I have my lenders and I show them all this stuff, I give them all this stuff. They don't ask for anything.
exactly.
When you hold back and you're like, was you gonna ask for this? That's when stuff starts to go bad.
Yeah, you got it. You got to just, and when you're starting off, this is the cool partnerships. When you're starting off, it's like I mentioned a minute ago. If you can't get that loan, let's say you had you had a bankruptcy or you lost, you had a bad financial track record in the past, and that's in your past, but it's still
Happens.
haunting you today.
Yeah.
Partner with somebody who can get that loan and then build your credit up, and then you'll you'll continue to grow that, right?
There
So
you go.
that's where partnerships come in handy.
Partner, credit partner.
Hmm.
Chris Waters, love the course. Yeah, that's cool, man. Thank you, Chris. For those wondering if they should invest in it, you must learn from the mistakes of others. You can't possibly live long enough to make them all yourself.
That is the truth.
It's a good point, brother. I love
That's a
buying
good
other people's
point.
mistakes. I'm like, tell me what you did, so I don't got to do it.
Man, sometimes we don't study the history of the greats,
That's right.
and man, I wish I would have studied the history of how to hire a property manager before I lost thousands of dollars, right?
Greg, yo mama. Greg, yo mama. What y'all? I think you guys put those names so y'all can hear me say these names. You guys are
Last
actually
time we were on here, we got some funny names.
you guys are the one and only ones talking about generational wealth. The others are high-paying jobs, wholesaling. That's right. Not everyone actually understands rich dad, poor dad. Get multifamily in the business. That's right. You're right. You got to get some passive cash flow
I'm
assets,
telling
my
you,
friend.
because again, you want something working for. See, I see all my multifamily buildings as employees. They make me money every day. Only I don't need to babysit them. I have a manager that manages those employees, and money gets put in every single month. You have to see it as a business almost like that, and that's the power. It
Totally.
builds wealth. And think about what you could do for your kids or your grandkids, and shift that tide and build some generational wealth that can be passed down and can really create
right.
amazing futures.
That's right, brother. Too Hood for you. What publications do you use for market research, Mike?
There's a lot of them. We use some of the multifamily housing council is one of my biggest. It's MFHC is one of my big ones. And I mean, there's many others, but that's probably one of my go-tos.
Gotcha. Kathy. Hey, Kathy, I invest in multiple states, but the problem that I find is trying to find quality contractors. You want to speak on that, Mike?
Absolutely. So when you're investing in multiple states, the power of a powerful property manager is they often know good contractors. And same with real estate agents. Partnering with good real estate agents in those markets, those real estate agents will know good contractors. And your lenders will often, if you get a loan in that area, will know good contractors. So you just have to think about everybody you know in that area, who would know a contractor in that area.
Banker.
So I lean on my property managers pretty heavily to locate those people for me.
Gotcha. Chris Walters, have you ever decided to not work with an investor, Mike? Somebody that comes to the table, because all money ain't good money.
Absolutely. So I always say this: you always want to vet your investors, because let me tell you something. I always say there's only one thing worse than a crazy person in which you have their money. And so you want to vet heavily. All money ain't good money, as you can probably from this question deduce that there's some people that just, it's not worth the headache. There's enough money out there. Go find somebody you love working with. I do have an investor right now that is a little bit trying, and I'm like, man, I should have done a little more vetting on the front end, and they're fine. They're just a little, they ask me lots of questions at lots of hours of the day, but again, they've also invested almost 7 figures, right? They get to ask me more questions.
Yeah, that's true.
And so, I kind of understand that as well. So
it's so weird, Mike. As you get older, you get an experience. You're like, I got people giving me hundreds of thousands. You giving me 50,000. You ask me a million questions. I'm like, you can keep that 50. I don't even want it.
It's so true, though, man. I'll tell you what. And you know what I've realized is the investors that want to invest 5, 10, 15,000, the investors that invest the least amount of money, they're often the biggest problems, because a lot of times that's all they have sometimes. And they just want to invest in real estate because they think, you're going to go triple my money. And oh my goodness, the more people invest with me, for some reason, the more trust they have in me.
Yeah, it's like, why are you bothering me? You know my money. We've been good, right?
I know. So. They're like, just tell me when. Just send me the checks, man, and that's good. I'm happy. That's the people I like to work with.
I'm telling you guys, they are out there. The hard ones I tell you, I had one lender. I had to let them go. They just gave me such a hard time. I'm like, look, people are begging me to take their money, and so it's almost like you have to your posture, and they would ask, why aren't you using my money? I'm like, well, frankly, it's kind of challenging getting the money, getting these deals financed. I had to let them know. So if you let people know, they'll loosen up a little bit on you.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt. Absolutely. And again, as we wrap up 2020, let's take every lesson we learned this year and get more focused in 2021 about really creating that passive revenue that can really fund our future and our mission. That's what I want for everybody. I want to talk to you. I want to come live next year, a few days before New Year's, and have everybody say, man, I got a couple properties this year, and man, now I'm making $1,000 a month that of a third income, and I'm gonna ramp it up, and I'm gonna keep making more and more and more. That's what I want to hear, but that's only gonna happen with some focus and really focusing in that direction.
Action, Jenny O. If you get the Multifamily CEO, comes with the Seller Financing Secrets class, which is January 9th, right, Mike?
That's correct. Yep. That is correct. And the first 15 will get a free ticket to the January 9th event. And you will, everybody will get the group coaching, but being live at that event will be for the first 15. So scoot over there and just snag your ticket to make sure you're good to go. Because the last tickets when we did this went pretty quick. So
gone. They were gone. I promise y'all. I'm telling you, Mike doesn't do, he does this specifically for us. Specifically for us for this.
Yeah, I have never offered this deal for anybody but Chris's people. And so I do this because Chris and I do a lot of work together, and we're going to keep doing some awesome stuff together. And so I just want to bless you guys. And plus, I want to see 2020 be a killer year.
Yeah. Geraldo Gonzalez, how do you collect rent when you have multiple properties? Is it an app or a website? Mike, good question.
Yeah, good question. So again, property manager does all that. Property manager collects everything. We're getting ready to move over to a system where they can use a credit card to pay for rent. And we could just auto bill their card. And so, but again, that's to give people, some people like that have the money. They're like, man, I could pay my rent on a credit card and I can get points, and they just boom, boom, boom. And that's good. And so we can do that for them. And so, but the property manager handles all that. I do one call a month with my manager. I do a in-person meeting once a month because I'm always in town, and doing business and stuff, more deals. And I call them probably once a week. So 4 calls a month, and that's all I do. Then a check shows up in my account. Like that's what I do. So that's the power of a good manager.
Yeah. CJ wants to know, does the program teach exactly how to value add deals? First of all, explain what that is, Mike, so people can understand.
Yep. So a value add, there's 2 ways you can add value to a property: increase the income or decrease the expenses. And so that's how you add value to a property. That's the 2 ways you can add income, decrease expenses. And a third way, I guess, would be to improve the property from like a curb appeal perspective, right? But that usually allows you to get more money. So it's kind of like a domino effect. So value add opportunities are how to increase, properties that you can increase their rents, properties that you can add laundry income. Maybe you can add a couple coin operated washer dryers and you can make money off everybody doing their laundry there. You charge for parking, you charge for utilities, you charge for this stuff so you can increase the income. Now, that's what value add is. And yes, I go over what they are, how to structure them. And in the deal finding process, that's where we talk about, because we all want to find value add properties. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for properties that are at market rate. We're looking at properties that are achieving less rents than they should be, getting those, reworking the properties, raising rents, and then increasing the value of that property. So yeah, we go over how to locate those properties there.
Gotcha. Value add. Okay, so value add. CJ, hope you got that down. Okay, we got an hour in here. All the questions answered. Go ahead and head over to Mike's CEO, Multifamily CEO. That link is in the video description. It's half off. This will be good until Sunday for the new year. Get rocking and rolling. Mike, final thoughts on getting started with multifamily property?
Absolutely. So when I first started, if I could go back to when I was 20, I would have focused on multifamily every single day of my life and just acquiring properties. That's just what I would have done. Because even in 08 and 09, when the economy crashed, yeah, multifamily lost its value, but it's kept its cash flow. And so people kept making money through that recession and just waited for the value to come back. Oh, and by the way, what do you do in a recession? You buy more property, right? So the power of multifamily is that it's creating cash flow. So every single month, and it protects you. If a tenant moves out, you're still getting money to pay those bills. And so 2021 is coming like a freight train in what, 2 days? Day after tomorrow, we're going to be in 2021.
Something.
And if next year's going to be better than this year, you're going to have to make better decisions. And it's the same thing with me. If I'm going to have a better year in 2021 than 2020, I have to make better and more successfully minded decisions. One of those decisions is to truly take your own education seriously and invest in yourself. You are worth it. And so let's get some multifamily this year. And I can't wait to, I love to feature our students on our podcast, people that have bought properties and they're doing deals. I love to interview them on the podcast. I'd love for you to be our next guest after you get a multifamily. So that would be awesome.
Cool.
So get over there and do that. And I really mean this. I really can't wait to meet you January 9th. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I need to come hang out with y'all on that one too, man.
Yeah, man. Chris hung out with us. We did this event 3-4 months ago, and you came and hung with us. It was fun having you there.
Yep. Okay, Roundup. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the content, share with any other investors that are looking to get into multifamily. Mike is the man. He's got a full course on this stuff, buying and selling real estate. You know, this is $1 million real estate, and he's showing you how to raise the money, equity share. I don't do a lot of that, but we do private investors for single family stuff. So Mike is flipping both of those. I'm learning from you too, Mike. I never even thought about doing a hybrid of lenders, man. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
Every time I'm on here, dude, you teach me. Like some of the stuff you're doing with Subject to, and some of the stuff you're doing. I had Chris on my podcast, finding off market deals. This is the reason I love you. Even your brand Roundup is great, man. I learn something every time I hang out with you or one of your people. So I love how we get to hang out, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Okay, y'all. Head on over there, and we'll see you January 9th.
I'll see you all there.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, brother.
Peace.